To preface, this is a parody in regards to TAA's questions white men have for SJWs, attempting to show how a SJW would realistically answer these questions. Do not take this as me genuinely answering these questions. This is for entertainment purposes only. Enjoy.
Why do you claim to speak for LGBT people, women, and ethnic minorities, but when LGBT people, women, and ethnic minorities disagree with you, you harass them?
Hey, you white knight cis-planning pedophiles, progressive 8% here, trigger-splaining to these privileged fucking white males how absolutely wrong they are. Of course, they were already wrong because they're white and male and cis, but nevertheless, they are double wrong for daring to ask questions on behalf of SJWs. Also, TJ, there are no LGBT people who disagree with what I have to say. The people who I harass are not true LGBT women or ethnic minorities.
Do you realize that your war on language through political correctness has made you bedfellows with true rape culture? In other words, Islam, the world's most misogynistic ideology.
Triggered! How dare you say Islam is misogynistic? It knows full well how oppressed women are, and intends to constantly show you how society brings them down. Also, brown people can't be misogynistic, you shitlord. In regards to language, like it's a four-letter word, you rapist, there is true rape culture in the Western world. Of course, you being a white male with no face, you can't see that, can you?
Do you want women to be equal, or do you want women to be a protected class? You can't have both. If you expect society to treat women as equal with men, why don't women have to take responsibility for their own safety?
Well, you see, you fucking black knight misogynist, the only way for women to truly feel equal to men is to make them a protected class. So you can have it both ways. Women can't be responsible for their own actions because society hates women, just hates them.
What are you afraid will happen when you leave your safe space?
Ugh, do you not realize that a safe space is everywhere? And that if there isn't one, it's a part of the white male cis-hetero patriarchy, family man-tano?
How can you possibly justify the idea that it's somehow racist to disagree with Black Lives Matter, and yet it's not racist when a black person tweets something like, "Kill all white people"?
Clearly, you don't know how the progressive stack works, you synthetic type of alpha-beta oppressive fatty. The people who don't have positions of power have all the right to be absolutely pieces of shit to other people, because those people don't know what it's like to be oppressed in a society that deems it racist for a black man to be racist. TJ.
Here's a question. Are you aware that the present is not the past? I'm not kidding. Are you familiar with the concept of linear time? Because you seem incredibly comfortable traveling back through time to talk about how bad things were for women, or black people, or whoever. And then by using some form of SJW magic, you then claim or imply that those problems in the past exist today. Are you aware that this trick that you're doing is not working? Why do you think that would work?
That's because it still does, you stupid kangaroo. I know it's an oxymoron, but still, women in society are treated as second-class citizens by the likes of you, who think it's A-okay to criticize a woman on her public safe space internet place. Ugh, triggered.
Do you really think you can spend your entire life in a state of perpetual emotional immaturity? Do you actually imagine that you will be able to stretch out your adolescence for your entire existence?
Of course I do, and if I can't, I'll demand society bend will to me. Because society teaches us that we should be adults, which is ageist. Hashtag maturity so white.
There are 13% more women in college right now than men. So if the whole goal of feminism is equality, Shouldn't we have some men-only scholarships in order to equal everything out?
I can't believe what my ears are hearing. Men only scholarships? Ugh, I'm so going to drop you, you Mississippi mudhole fucking hick. Men don't need men-only scholarships because men get all the scholarships. Duh!
If feminism and egalitarianism are both for equal rights, then why does one start with a gendered prefix while the other one is entirely gender neutral?
Look, if you could just remove your stupid white male glasses, you would realize that in order for there to be equality, you have to focus on gender, fuck!
What do you hope to gain by bringing back racial segregation?
Hey, moron! Fucking moron! Of course, a white man would think that I'm doing this for my own selfish egotism. But to retort, if we aren't acutely aware of our race, then we get racism, which is worse than racial segregation.
When my granduncle was dropping bombs on London, did your grandparents get out of their bunkers in the morning to protest with signs that read, "Not all Nazis"?
Well, they should have, and if they didn't, my grandparents are a bunch of racist Nazi folks who just don't understand that Nazism is for equality because they are a minority.
Why do you think every cis white male is born racist? Racism is a learned behavior.
All these stupid white cis males just can't put two and two together. White people learn racism from birth, and therefore every white cis male is born racist. I'm going to false flag Mr. Rep Zion for this learned racism.
How can you possibly say that the phrase "all lives matter" is somehow racist? It sounds like something the Dalai Lama would say.
Then the Dalai Lama obviously doesn't care about the lives of black and minority groups because those lives matter more, especially to white cis-het males like TJ here.
Would you rather be right or popular? It seems like your primary objective is to score social points and get public validation. You speak publicly in the same way that people write their dating profiles. Stop trying to demonstrate how awesome you are and get real.
Of course, an unpopular, unright kangaroo is going to tell the most progressive, most woke, non-gender binary how I should get real. How about you get real with the fact that I am indeed awesome and that your entire existence is detriment to my own? The only thing that is redeeming about you is that you are wearing a burqa, so in order to stop other cars from raping you with their front fenders. But you also lose points for triggering my penis to get erect from that video, you misogynist.
So if a drunk man sleeps with a drunk woman, the woman is incapable of giving consent, but the man is?
Ugh. The reason for this is that we all know every man wants to have sex and therefore have given their consent. We can't assume that all women want sex, or that's just part of rape culture, demonstrated by this one man here.
Is it really easier to spend your life attempting to pacify the world and subdue all around you, instead of accepting that you are the person who has to change?
Fucking racist. To me, to all egotistical, narcissistic, self-centered people who are trying to change the world by making society change it for us. How dare you insist that I should change for society when society is the one bringing me down? It's not my fault that I wasted my life and money on a degree that will get me nowhere, and I've learned literally no life skills by asserting that everything is an ist. That's society's fault.
When I'm singing along with rap music, is it okay if I say the word nigga?
No, it fucking isn't, you racist redneck. That is our word.
How do you reconcile your opinion that gender doesn't matter or even exist with your need to invent new genders each day?
We wouldn't have to if these goddamn social constructs would stop telling us that, scientifically speaking, you are born a gender by DNA. Also, it is my duty to yell down other people who don't notice that I am a pansexual queer lesbo necrophiliac.
In your version of equality, will white men ever have a voice in society, or will white men always be too privileged to participate in discussion?
One can dream that one day, all of you privileged motherfuckers will be slung in chains and forced to haul huge bricks to build giant pyramids to the oppressed name. One can dream of that true equality you speak.
What makes you think that the power of censorship that you are so desperately trying to establish now will at no point be used against you?
Because I can keep going on that I am the one oppressed, and therefore my voice will not be silenced. In order to keep my voice from being silenced, I have to shout out other voices like yours, you fucking migrant-phobe piece of shit!
Why is it that if a woman dresses sexy or even topless in public, you support it, but if a female video game character is dressed sexy, then you want her clothed more modestly?
Men are told through video games that women are always dressing scantily clad, which is part of the patriarchy. Dressing sexy in real life is just a woman expressing herself, whereas pixels on the screen is of a woman being oppressed by her male developer overlords, TJ.
What is your favorite song to sing really loud when you're confronted with a different point of view?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream!
Well, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie between We're Not Gonna Take It and I Don't Fuck With You. You stupid white cis male, I have a million things I'd rather do, white than a male Tano.
Why are you afraid of dissenting opinions? Your continued attempts to silence all opposition, either by smearing them publicly or labeling their content as hate speech and having it removed, only serves to insulate your bubble even more and maintain your echo chamber. It also prevents you from taking on new information and hearing different points of view that are sometimes superior to yours, which tends to happen whenever I talk.
Because dissenting opinion is part of the patriarchy, obviously. All new information is just a bunch of white males trying to tell me I'm wrong because facts go against feelings. How dare they say that shit? Silence them, I say.
What is reverse racism? Like, what the actual fuck is it? It's just racism, right?
Reverse racism doesn't exist because racism is a one-way street. That street being the white people being racist towards black people. It's not a two-way street, you fucking plated buffoon.
Do any of you people actually remember all the pronouns? You know the list, right? The one with 76 fucking genders.
Of course I do, but I know that you don't because you hate transgender people, you fucking transmisogynist.
Why do you feel entitled to control what artists and entertainers are allowed to express? Why do you think your sensibilities should be placed above the sensibilities of actual creators?
Because artists and entertainers aren't married to the feelings of other people who may view their content as a microaggression, and therefore we need to facilitate what they are allowed to draw and write and sing. Especially you, TJ.
Have you ever considered that using the terms racism and sexism as haphazardly as you do to describe everything under the sun that makes you feel uncomfortable devalues the word to the point that it actually hurts the people who actually suffer from real sexism and real racism? Have you ever fucking thought of that?
No, because people who suffer from racism and sexism try to profit as a victim on every front they do. So obviously those real sexists are sock puppets for you to say that sexism is an isolated incident, which is sexism in of itself.
Have you guys tried drinking this shit? It's great.
How Clorox phobic of you. I only drink the finest antifreeze this side of San Francisco. God, TJ, I can't believe you got all these privileged shitlords to mansplain how I'm such a piece of shit, TJ. Like, TJ, the worst thing about you, TJ, is that you would allow other people who disagree with you to come on your misogynistic show, TJ. Man, fuck you, TJ.